That's the spirit.
Now what's going on with these Vampire Diaries? Now what's going on with these Vampire Diaries? Now what's going on with these Vampire Diaries?
Oh, back again. Tell your co-workers, tell your friends. Now it's season 3, VPDs in 3D. Put on your glasses, turn on your TV. Steady standing Stelena. Ooh, Klaus in the house, troubles are brewing. What else can Catherine ruin? Call the MFPD, it's Ash and Petey. About to release more podcasts on the streety.
Where's Stefan? He gave himself over to Klaus to save his brother.
Slow it down. Sipping on vervain, swerving in my lane. Brother's bond in my vein, trying to kill the pain.
Just give me the cure, and I'll do whatever you want.
Hello. Welcome to the Vampire Diaries, the Vampire Diaries podcast, where a guy is watching the series for the first time with a super fan who has seen every episode. It's like a pizzone, but it's a episode.
Okay.
From Pizza Hut. I'm the titular PD. Let's just say I put the PD in Vampire, but please call me Pete, and I'm here with my co-host and co-parent Ash. Hello, Ash.
Wow. Take a breath, Pete.
What's
Hello.
up, Ash?
Hey, I'm chilling. How are you?
Totally maxed and relaxed.
That's good to know.
Yep. Just excited about escapism.
Are you in the pod zone?
Oh, I live in the pod zone.
The pod zone is your favorite zone to live in.
You know, TMZ, you might not know this, but TMZ stands for 30 Mile Zone.
Yes,
you know
I do
that?
know this, yes.
And that's sort of coming from, in film production, if something is in the 30 Mile Zone, the TMZ, then kind of like you can shoot there without having to get hotel rooms for the crew and all this stuff. Like it's actually a...
Oh, I didn't know there was a film connection.
It's a production component. So, oh, we're in the TMZ. We're in the 30 Mile Zone, so we can like make stuff. It's like local, and we're not up in like we're down in Laguna. Like
I thought it was like the 30 Mile Zone is from like Wilshire to like Santa Monica or something like that.
That would be probably like 3 miles.
Yeah.
But anyway,
that like before I moved to LA and I watched TMZ, which I don't now.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was just like saying like the area in LA.
I mean, it is colloquially that, and TMZ certainly bastardized the hell out of it, the television show.
Right.
Where it's like, oh, we're the TMZ. I mean, I'm sure like TMZ like is like, so-and-so's in New York doing blah, blah, blah. So they're not even in the TMZ.
Right.
But
true.
TMZ, the 30 Mile Zone, originally meant something much like things have meant things, and then they get bastardized.
Right. And your point?
I don't know.
I made you forget it.
Oh, yeah, Pod Zone, TMZ, 30 Mile Zone. Uh-huh. I live in the PMZ, Pod Mile Zone.
No, doesn't translate.
Pod Million Zone, million pods.
I don't know how many of you guys sleep while you listen to your pods. Pete, you're a fall asleep to pod guy, which is usually fine, except when your pods fall out of your ears in the middle of the night and you have to go searching for them.
I know. I used to have AirPods, and then they kind of broke, and so now I have Beats by Dre, like, ear things.
Either ear hookies.
And just recently, they've been falling out of my ears.
Maybe your ears are shrinking.
The opposite of what happens to most people. I'd take that.
Yeah.
Couple of nights scrounging for Beats by Dre's.
To have smaller ears?
To have some tiny aerodynamic ears. Aerodynamic.
Oh, no.
Ash, what's your favorite TMZ hit piece you've ever seen? I'm just kidding.
I don't know. Probably something with Justin Timberlake on it.
Ooh.
But actually the one I can remember is when Britney Spears was hitting the car with her umbrella.
Oh. Yeah, TMZ is a toxic show.
Yeah, it's not good.
Toxic men zone.
Does it still exist?
I honestly don't know.
I
It's
hope
probably
not.
It's probably just a website. It may be a podcast or something.
Yeah,
now.
I hope it doesn't exist anymore. I mean, now celebrities can kind of control their own exposure to a certain extent on their own social media. Mm-hmm. But before social media existed, TMZ was one of the things. And looking back at it, it was so bad.
Probably, I mean, if TMZ still exists, it's probably like, guess who tweeted blah blah blah. Their Instagram said they went they went live and blah blah blah.
Yeah, it's just like repeating what you could find on your own.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, let's get out of that TMZ and into this app.
Yeah, get out of the TM zone. Get into the pod zone.
Get into the VPD.
VPD.
Instead of the TMZ.
TMZ. More like VPD. What if it was the Mystic Falls Zone? TMZ? The Mystic Falls Zone?
That'd be good.
TMFZ. Mm-hmm. Ash, we're going to go into the... I wonder how big Mystic Falls is. What's the 30-mile zone there?
But that I don't know. That's a question I have never pondered.
You know what would be funny, though? Just to wrap it all up. Harry Levin with his giant cup of whatever... cocaine juice that he drinks, and being like, "Did you guys see Ty? Ty was at the grill, and we got video of him." And he comes up, and Ty's like walking out the grill, like, yeah, I don't have to be sired, blah blah blah."
Yeah.
And then like puts his hand over the camera lens, the paparazzi camera lens.
Yeah.
That's a good sketch right there for like Mad TV 13 years ago. Hey, Mad TV 13 years ago, I got a sketch for you.
Yeah, I agree. I can visualize it so well.
And then, the reveal would be that Levin is a vampire and he's drinking blood through that big cup.
Yes.
Which
I'm here for it.
I don't have necessarily a big problem. Like, no one has to get mad at me about not liking the TMZ guy, but it's a toxic show.
Yeah, it's not positivity land.
No, and I have to give it zero thoughts until we started talking about the TMZ or the pod zone. I really brought it up. It's my fault. Ash.
Moving on.
We've gone 3 seasons and 20 episodes without talking about the TMZ. And now we are on season 3, episode 20. We talked about it, but we're done talking about it for the rest of the whole series.
Of our lives.
And now we're going to talk about Do Not Go Gentle.
Yeah. Don't you not like this title because it should be gently?
Do not go gently, into the night, I believe.
Yeah, but just like grammatically correct. Do not go gentle.
Yeah, it's strange. I don't really know what's going on with it. Do not go gentle.
Doesn't vibe right.
I think they were being like, Alaric doesn't go gentle. He was going to go gentle. We thought he was going gentle.
Oh, spoilers.
Well, they were listening to the episode that we're talking about.
Okay, you jumped to the last second of the whole episode.
Ash, that's a hot ending, but we're going to the cold open. A hot close. This is a cold open.
All right, hold on. I'm trying to figure out do not go gentle. Do not go gentle into that good night. So maybe that's the poem by Dylan Thomas. So maybe it's the beginning part.
Isn't that the dude from
poem.
13 Reasons Why?
It's also the name of a parent at my school.
Oh, can't say that.
Why?
Okay.
There's like a bunch of Dylan Thomases.
All right.
I think so, at least. All right, this is a Welsh poet. But yeah.
We're
Do
already
not go
off the rails.
Gentle into that good night. So they just use probably the first part of the title. Or line.
I wonder if the next episode is
Title.
That Good Night or That Bad Night or something. Next episode?
Yeah. It could be do not go gentle into death is the meaning. Well,
That's what I'm saying.
that's what it's about.
Rick.
You were right. But I don't like the language, but it makes sense because it's only half of a sentence. A sentence fragment, if you will.
Ash. Talking about a hot ending, but we're jumping back to the cold open.
Okay, cold open. Sorry, that's loud. I won't clap anymore.
Everyone who's sleeping with their Beats by Dre in right now just burst. Just sat up like Michael Myers in Austin Powers. Yeah. I was waiting for you to say Halloween, and then I would say Austin Powers.
Okay.
It's funny that they have the same names. All right. Klaus is painting. He's doing some...
What do you think about this painting?
Looked like he was doing some outsider art.
This was gross to me. There's so much paint on top of each other. The texture of just putting on more and more and more paint was grossing me out.
I felt like he was painting over some tree bark or something.
It was just
it didn't look like
paint on top of paint on top of paint.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Well, he's been painting it for 1,000 years, so. It's just the same thing.
That's why it's so much.
Rebecca comes in, but it's actually Esther, probably, I said.
Yeah.
She has the white oak steak.
Mm-hmm.
The last one that can kill us. And Klaus immediately throws it in the fireplace and poof, it explodes. Just like a piece of wood explodes when you put it in the fireplace.
If only it worked that way.
Are they in that remodeled home?
Yes. But you know that that's not actually the white oak steak. It was a pretend one.
Totally.
Okay. Did you know that like in the moment or just after the fact?
I knew it when he threw it into the fireplace.
Yeah.
Klaus is like, we'll grab the doppelganger and then go. And then Rebecca's like, but it's the decade dance. I said, so is it the real Rebecca or was Esther Rebecca the whole time and this 1,000-year-old cares enough about high school to play along?
It's the Esther was playing along to fool Klaus. But she wasn't her the whole time.
She wasn't her when they were with Caroline and Matt.
No, because remember when she had that weird, like, body shake moment, and it was like, what the heck? That was after she came home from Matt at the gym. So, Esther just is keeping tabs on Caroline enough to be able to act like her.
Dang. Rebecca.
Oh, yeah, what did I say?
But also Caroline.
Oh, yeah, Rebecca, I meant.
She has big plans for the night. Esther as Rebecca does. Mm-hmm. Klaus agrees to go to the dance. Like, why?
I know. She's like, please, please, please. He's like, fine, one more hurrah.
These things these men do for their ladies.
Yeah.
Sisters / mothers. One last...
Sister / mother.
One last hurrah. Nick. And I said, did only Esther call him Nick? Did Rebecca call him Nick? Was that a clue or a tell?
No, Rebecca calls him Nick. But it was good that Esther knew to do that.
It was. All right, and speaking of Nick, what about Rick? Nick and Rick. Damon is talking on the phone to Rick. Rebecca got the steak Damon assumes.
Right.
The real steak. Alaric needs to get out of town, and he's stocked up on Bonnie's herb. He's got a pound of the herb. $4.20. Rebecca is there with Alaric and some coffins. Rebecca has the real steak, Ash. Mm-hmm. Esther is in the coffin, but it's Rebecca.
Right. Their body swap.
Confused, yeah. Alaric daggers her with the white oak dagger. Rebecca.
Which is important that it's Alaric because you can't be a vampire and dagger someone.
Oh.
Or you die.
So his daggering days are over.
It's true.
Esther wakes up out the coffin. Mm-hmm. And then Rebecca's turning white and veiny. Gray and veiny.
Gray and veiny.
We said that on the podcast, right?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, okay. Just like the white oak ash. All right. And then also...
We have so many songs about it.
It's like white oak ash. No one sent me any beautiful renditions of that, by the way.
Come on, guys.
Caroline and Elena are getting the Decades dance ready. Jeremy and Matt are hanging stars. They're bromancy.
Yeah, so this is Jeremy's first time back in Mystic Falls because he was in... where did you want him to be? Detroit the whole time? But he was in Denver.
He was on 8 Mile.
So he's back in the mix, hanging stars for the dance.
And thank goodness Matt got Jeremy his old job back at the grill.
Yeah. The only place to have a job.
They need like an ice cream shoppy also. They need a grilly and a shoppy.
What if they had like a local pool, a community pool?
I like that. They do some exposition. It's like you're baiting me into reading my Vampire at the Pool poem. Uh-huh. They do some exposition. Damon and Elena were making out at that hotel.
Yes,
Hotel,
they were.
motel, Holiday Inn.
I know, Elena's like, I didn't tell you that so that you could taunt me with it or tease me or whatever she said.
Bonnie has a date to the dance. Jamie from House of Wax. Mm-hmm. Who will Elena take to the dance? Stefan? She can't. She just made out with his brother, Damon.
I know. But I agree with Caroline that she should take Stefan. I'm glad she does. But don't you think she should have given Damon, like, one heads up? And been like, shouldn't there have been a moment where Elena's like, hey,
I agree with part of that
I know we
sentence.
had, like... oh, my gosh. I know that we had our moment, blah, 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 but I'm going to take Stefan to the dance. Like, even though Damon would be sad and mad no matter what, like, she shouldn't have just not told him at all.
No. Yeah, you gotta give him the heads up.
Yeah.
But Stefan is her epic love, Ash.
I agree. Team Stelena.
Stelena. Steady standing Stelena.
Steady standing Stelena.
Ooh-wee. Stefan gets a call from Elena. She's nervous to ask him to the dance. He says yes and smiles.
I know.
Damon heard it all, quips about it, then leaves.
He's sad.
He is.
Why are we whispering?
This is the quiet part.
Oh, okay.
Mystic Falls emergency room. George Clooney walks by. Meredith is hearing voices, but it's Damon. He's just whispering around there. Oh, that's why we were whispering.
Oh, okay, yeah.
He catches her up on a lark. He's not taking the herbs.
Yeah, she's like, he's like, will they work if he doesn't have them? And he's like holding them in his hand.
I feel like he already knows the answer to that question.
Right. Rhetorical.
By the end of this episode, we need a better name for Dark Alaric. Dark Alaric.
Okay.
Evil Alaric Rick Van Sprinkle.
He's a vampire hunter. So is it Runter?
All right.
Rickner?
Let's try and beat Runter.
You know I'm the worst at that kind of thing.
All right. Esther has brought Alaric to a tomb. She needs to bind the protective magic of his ring to the stake.
Doesn't she give the longest explanation? Is this the one, or she does it later?
Yeah, I said sounds fishy to me.
Yeah.
She says a lot of stuff. I'm like, I'll take y'all's word for it. I said he's really trying to kill all vampires out here. Mm-hmm. He says there aren't good ones.
Right.
He's like, they all should be done. Esther agrees, actually.
Right.
She's like, me? But wait, she's not a vampire, she's a witch?
Yeah, she made the originals.
Uh-huh.
So it's her fault that vampires exist. She's trying to fix it.
Here's my question.
Okay, what?
When she kills all vampires, is she then going to kill herself? Or is she going to just be like, oh, all the vampires are dead. Okay, spa day.
That's a good question.
Mom trip, girls trip.
Killed all my kids.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
I will not be able to answer that question.
Sounds like she doesn't kill all her kids. Because if she's like, yeah, I can't wait to kill all these vampires, and then she's like, and I'm just going to chill for another 1,000 years vampire-free, just doing my magic and whatever, that's not fair. She needs to go down with that ship.
Right.
Well,
she's technically dead, but she's harnessing the power of the witches to be on the other side. So, but I hear what you're saying.
Well, she needs to get her soul evaporated or something.
How'd you know?
Esther presumably does what she said, but who knows, I said.
Right.
And
she's
now,
like, here it is, and it's just like a wet steak.
Yeah, she has a steak dipped in chrome.
Yeah, it just has some silver paint on it.
But now Alaric doesn't have the ring. The white oak stake is the ultimate weapon.
Uh-huh. But she said that she's going to give him protection so he won't die. Which,
If I had a nickel for every time someone told me that.
But if you're a vampire, you are dead, so she was technically not telling the truth.
Ash, Elena, is a flapper, and Stefan is looking dapper.
They look so cute. I love the 20s. It's so cute.
We're in the 20s.
Not these 20s.
We're in the 20s right now. A lot of similarities.
Oh, man.
Speaking of similarities, there's a quote that I guess Elena said. Was she referencing Stefan? But anyway, someone says, getting out of bed is dangerous these days, but we have to live our lives.
Elena.
So they go to the dance.
Yep.
An apropos quote. The swing dance nerds are loving this one, Ash. Ash, did you ever go to one of these things in the early 2000s where these swing dance nerds are being nerd dancing swings?
I have seen a couple people do swing dancing in person, but I think it was probably at a dance competition, not at a dance. However, when I watched the scene, I'm thinking, these high schoolers aren't going to this party to swing dance. If this was a real high school dance, they would go there, they would be awkward for a minute, and then they would be freak dancing.
They'd be freaking.
They wouldn't be like, all right, let's do the Charleston. No way.
No, they'd be doing the
Tootsie Roll.
Carlton.
No, they wouldn't do that either.
This was like 2010 or 2011.
They'd be doing the stanky leg.
Yes. They would be doing that. There'd be a group of kids in like bow ties and what are those hats called? Fedoras.
Yeah, I think so.
Just stanky legging.
That would have been way more accurate.
Matt has a cool hat on. Mm-hmm. Cool in quotation marks.
Yeah, everyone looks good. I like their little hair. I like the girls' little hair all pinned up, and everyone looks cute.
Ash, what's your... Okay, I know you like a Timberlake fedora with a pork pie. Look, all these hats have the worst names. Pork pie, newsboy, fedora, all this.
Yeah, I don't know. My mom somehow knows the names of all these hats. She said she met my dad, and he used to wear a choo-choo hat when they met. That's what she calls it. But did he just had a conductor hat on for a long time? I think he did.
That would be a look, actually.
He still loves his hats.
Yes. Well, and then you marry someone like your father, so...
Yeah.
But Ash, I don't know, these hats... I think these hats are great. But you gotta... They're like... They're a delicate spice that you throw on your life every once in a while. They're not a daily driver.
No.
Coming with hot takes today, Ash.
Okay.
Probably offending a lot of people.
Ooh, the hat lovers are out to get you.
Hey, I love hats too. I've got a hat on right now.
He winks. He's not wearing a hat, you guys.
Who can you trust these days? All right. Caroline says Elena is spoken for and he should back off. To Matt, Matt should back off?
Yeah, so Caroline is like saying that she wants to protect Matt because Matt's a good guy and she doesn't want him to fall for Elena because Elena is either going to be with Stefan or Damon, basically. And he's like, I'm just her friend. She's like, well...
The irony that she should just be with him.
Right.
Ty is there. He's dressed as a 20s gangster. She.
Accurate.
Ty can pretend he's sired if he has to. He doesn't want Klaus macking on her.
I know.
He's jealous and competitive. What a combo, I said.
Yeah. I love it.
Elena.
I love a jealous, competitive man.
Oh, man, that's the best.
Sark.
You're like mad all the time?
I know, jeez.
Yeah, he certainly can pretend he's sired if he has to. He's good at it. Because he still is what I'm saying. Elena asked Stefan to teach her some moves from back in the day. He says he was blacked out for that decade, and I said, if you can remember the 20s, you weren't really there.
Yeah, she always asks him to show him. She always asks him to show her some of his moves because he has lived all the things. It's like, show me. Come on. I'd be doing the same thing. I'd be like, all right. But I wouldn't do it the day of. I'd be like, okay, this week you're going to teach me all these dances and we're going to go.
Yeah, he just started mixing like Coca-Cola syrup with tonic water or whatever. He's like, man, this is how we used to drink the Coca-Cola. Then he put some cocaine in it.
Yeah, he's like, see, here we go.
Lena's like, that's not what I was talking about. Stefan doesn't want to hear about her and Damon.
Right. She's like, I should tell you about this weekend. He's like, no.
Yeah, he's like, either you'll tell me in the future or I'll never know.
Basically, don't tell me right now.
Damon pops up all creepy and is like, we need to talk.
Mm-hmm. Because he found out that Alaric wasn't taking his herbs, so he must be doing vampire hunting
secret murders.
Yeah.
Jeremy runs into Bonnie and Jamie. When my sister stops hanging out with vampires, I'll take my ring off. They're like, the ring was making Alaric like have all these issues. Mm-hmm. And Jeremy's like, And he's very stern about it.
He's like, no, I'm gonna wear it. Bye.
Yeah.
He's very stern this whole episode. Does not seem happy to be back in Mystic Falls.
No, he was chilling with his buddy Cole and like running around with a dog, right? Didn't he have a dog out there and playing baseball? Like he had such a nice life.
He did have such a nice life, and now he's like, gotta hang these stars and talk to these vampires. See my ex-witch girlfriend. Too much.
Yeah, when he's in Detroit or whatever, saying that his ex-girlfriend is a witch, he's not lying.
So true.
All right, Damon wants to just kill Alaric. Damon always just says he wants to kill all these people.
Yeah, he's like, what's a mercy kill?
Jeremy says, no way, bro, and storms off.
Yeah, I hated this, actually, because Jeremy, like, storms in, blah, 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 and he's just like, that's not happening, and then turns around and storms away. It's like...
Oh, yeah. Was this by the lockers?
Yeah,
he has
like,
one line.
You said half a sentence. Why did you even come?
Elena promises that Alaric won't get hurt. Okay. Elena's always promising that kind of stuff.
Yeah, she is.
Esther shows up and says, come with me to help Alaric. Stefan and Damon are bound by salt to stay at the dance, which I can relate to. I'm often bound by salt and can't do certain things.
That's true. But also, how much salt? And nobody at this dance sees just like a giant train of salt and is like, this is weird. Let's follow this salt. Like, no one notices it. Nothing happens.
I know. No one. I mean, it's like a sandcastle trail of salt.
I know. And I know the vibe of the show, obviously. And I'm not trying to change it, but I'm just like, maybe there could be a little bit more of just someone looking really weird and then being like, come on, let's go dance. Or like...
Yeah, get a day player to be like, what's the deal with this salt? And then some girl's like, oh, you.
Yeah, just like, you still brush it off like no one actually finds out.
Let's go spike the punch, Tim.
And it's like, okay, fine.
Okay, I don't care about that salt.
Yeah, moving on.
Let's go make out.
But, like, really, no one even looks at it. No one they're like, oh, yeah, people are walking right through it. But, huh?
Yeah, that was funny that there was a bunch of salt. It seemed like they were like, how do they not come and mess it up? There's a big pile of salt. All right, well, it's 5 p.m. Let's go home to our families.
Yeah.
They stopped writing, is what I'm saying. Uh-huh. The next day, they were like, what do we do on page 25? Big pile of salt. Okay, let's move on to the next part. Mm-hmm. Bonnie and Jamie are flirting in American History Period 7, which I didn't realize till later that was Alaric's classroom.
Yeah.
Jamie is like, there's a lot of supernatural things here, but I'm just a normal guy. Hey, he should bond with Matt about that. Mm-hmm. Hey, we're both normal guys. And
he said Matt was dead that one time.
Oh, yeah. Jamie would be like, well, I got like hurt with Bonnie's mom.
Yeah, true.
They smooch, not Matt and Jamie.
I know. I was like, wait.
Bonnie and Jamie. Damon turns on the lights on them.
Yeah, I'm happy for Jamie and Bonnie. That they're a cute little couple.
All right, so is there a couple name Johnny or Bamey?
It's gotta be Bamey because Johnny is just someone else.
Do you stand Johnny or do you stand Bamey?
Bamey.
Bamey. Esther and Elena. Rebecca and Esther. Rester or Rebecca.
Rebecca.
They're not a couple, but they're in each other's bodies or whatever. All right. Esther and Elena. Your blood is a potent binding agent. Aren't they talking about all these binding agents? Salt is the binding agent.
Yeah,
and all
because
this?
she's doing witchy stuff.
You can substitute applesauce for egg as a binding agent in some of these spells. All right.
That's very true.
Alaric is there. They're at the tomb. He's Dark Rick, which we got to beat that. Which we already said.
Dark Rickolas.
Dark Rickolas. Alaric is such a... All right, what's his name? Saltzman? Okay. Salt. Hey, salt. Big pile of salt. Saltzman? I don't know.
Black pepper salt.
Oh, the PepperMan. I do like that. Saltzman turns to the PepperMan.
Okay.
All right.
I'm just going off of Dark Caroline and trying to be silly.
Dark Pepperman. All right, he's the Pepperman.
So far, he's the Pepperman.
She does say she wants to make him into a dark hunter. Another original vampire? Or is he not an OG because it's so late? But he's spawned from the OG.
Which, yeah, I know when Elena says that, I'm like, that's not accurate because the original vampires were the first. There's been so many vampires since then.
He's like the newest vampire. Like, how can he be an original? He's like the newest one.
Yeah. But she's saying that it's coming from her.
Yeah.
She made all the other originals that she's trying to kill. It's like, wait, you're trying to kill all these guys, but you're making another one?
Yeah. I guess
But she's making one to kill them.
It's original in that it's from that original... It's from that beginning seed plant.
Yeah.
Yes. It's like a plant, or it's like the sourdough starter or something. Whenever people are talking about making sourdough, it's like they got a starter. That's kind of gross. How old is that? And kombucha.
Yeah, I don't like that kind of stuff.
You make kombucha from a mother or something.
Ew.
It's like bacteria.
Ew, stop already, please. That's enough.
Yeah, they got gross stuff.
To name it a mother is disgusting.
And then you're drinking it. I'm done with kombucha. I read this book and I'm done with kombucha.
Ew, I never started. It's too gross for me.
I thought it was healthy, but anyway. People like kombucha. People like giant big gulps of coffee. Like, let's let them have that. All right. Every time Alaric died, Esther talked to him on the other side.
How crazy is that?
I bet Damon would have snapped his neck less if he knew that.
For sure.
He snapped his neck, and then Esther would be like, "Hey, Alaric, evil thoughts."
Yeah, all the time they were like, "What can we do that's just easy? Oh, we'll just kill Alaric."
Yeah, let's just kill Alaric. They killed him so many times.
I know, they did.
Alaric needs all right, we'll talk about the ending, but he was on his way to having a nice moment, and then they kind of messed it up. So I hope he gets his due. And he still should have just been in 3 episodes like I've been saying the whole time. Just kidding. Ty and Caroline are dancing. Klaus enters. Klaus didn't give Ty permission to leave.
Yeah.
Mystic Falls. Klaus cuts in. He's the alpha male. Klaus.
Ty lets him pretends like he's sired.
Yes. Klaus is leaving town tomorrow, and one day Caroline will go with him.
So he says.
She doesn't think so. Small town boy and life won't be enough for her, Klaus says.
Well, also eventually, I guess no, Ty is a hybrid, so never mind. But I was going to say, if he was a regular boy, eventually she would just outlive him. But that's actually not true for him. Never mind.
Klaus leaves an exposition message on Rebecca's voicemail saying, I'm only here at this dance because you asked me to, that we saw a few scenes ago.
Mm-hmm. I like Klaus's hair, and I also thought Klaus should have been way more mad at Tyler. Like, everyone was like, you can't be here, you can't let Klaus know you're here, blah, blah, blah. And he was like, well, I don't care. And then really, Klaus did not care.
Yeah, he was more like upset about Caroline. Mm-hmm. He wasn't that mad at Ty.
No, he wasn't.
Klaus sees the salt. Mm-hmm. And Stefan's like, your mom is back. Stefan just standing there by the salt.
Yeah, he's like, what is this? Your mom's home.
What is this? Bonnie is doing spells. Damon and Stefan and Klaus and Jamie are there. And Matt comes in. Klaus chokes Jamie. Esther is getting ready to make Dark Vampire Rick.
Dark Vampire Rick. I like Dark Vampire Rick.
You only know the weakest part of me. Befriending vampires instead of killing them. I said, Alark has a manifesto out here. Mm-hmm. Esther squeezes Elena's heart and her palm gets cut. The classic palm cut, only no one drags their knife through their own palm.
Virtual.
Yeah, virtual palm cut.
Yeah.
Alark drinks.
Which is even grosser than the cut it yourself.
Yeah, ew, it just opens up.
Yeah. Ugh.
I'd be so mad.
Not cute.
That'd be the thing I'd be the most mad about out of that whole situation.
It's like, also, why are you opening my palm so big that you could just prick my finger and get blood?
I know. You want some blood? Let me take care of it.
Yeah, just ding.
I'm stabbing my pinky toe. Alark drinks Elena's blood.
I know.
What? He was her history teacher.
Ew.
That does remind me of a story that I have from high school. Just kidding.
Oh, no.
Esther stabs or punches his heart. Like, there's like this shot where it's just like, huh, what's happening?
Yeah.
Fade to black.
The end.
The end.
Of the whole show.
Bonnie is going to use Jeremy's blood because of that Gilbert connection to find Elena on a map. Mm-hmm. Bonnie is still mad that her mom is a vampire.
Yeah.
All right, Esther is at a hot spot, the cemetery. I wonder if they were just learning about pairing hot spots back then.
Yeah, this is the new vocabulary for this crew of people. They've been like 100 dead witches, all the energy, blah, blah, blah. Now they're just calling it a hot spot at the cemetery.
TBH, I don't know that I've ever used a hot spot or could do that.
I've used your phone as a hot spot.
Our old pug used to get hot spots. That's about my.
That's different, but yeah.
That's about my relationship to it. How did you just hear her? She used my phone as a hotspot. That's shady business right there.
You knew. You just don't remember.
This hotspot is the cemetery, by the way. Mm-hmm. The tomb.
The Salvatore tomb.
Ty is worried about Klaus getting killed because then he goes too. Ty dies if Klaus dies.
Mm-hmm. And they still don't even know who sired who and who is in the lineage of all the vampires. So they're worried.
And they still don't know who put rubber bands on a t-shirt and then sprayed colored liquid.
Tie-dyes?
Uh-huh. Ty is mad Klaus dance with Caroline, but they smooch on the bleachers. That gym looked nice.
It did look nice. That's a good set.
Decorated nicely. Mm-hmm. Alark is dead, or is he? Elena can maybe say goodbye to the old Alark when he comes back to life.
Yeah, that was good exposition from Esther to be like, he'll be his normal self for a little while. Mm-hmm. Before he transitions or whatever.
Then he will complete his task. Then he will die. When this is over, they'll have rid the earth of vampires. Elena doesn't want #all vampires. Mm-hmm. She wants good vampires still.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's the people she loves.
She's in a, like, Sodom and Gomorrah type situation. Ooh, the salt earlier.
Oh, yeah. But, I mean, it's her two loves, her best friend, the vamps, Bonnie's mom. She's like, come on.
Esther says Aunt Jenna isn't in hell, basically. Jeremy and Matt have a gun and a crossbow. Esther makes them point them at each other.
Yeah.
Alark jumps in and stakes her in the back. He's good Alark for now.
I know, but shouldn't she have prepared herself for this? She's like, here's Alaric. He's going to be my vampire hunter, but when he wakes up, he's going to be normal Alaric. She didn't even prepare. She didn't even protect herself at all.
No. Stefan and Klaus are still waiting by the salt. This decade's dance reminds us of our times in the 20s, Klaus says. Like, yeah, of course.
Yeah, duh. Hey, also, when this whole thing was happening, so Esther just got staked, but the salt spell is still enacting. Like, they didn't, like, test the salt every once in a while to see if they could go through it. They were just like, well, can't walk through here. Like, I don't know. I feel like they could have gone through it way sooner, but they just didn't try.
They could have been like the raptors in Jurassic Park. Damon says Stefan doesn't need Klaus as a brother because he and Stefan have a brother's bond.
Yeah. Because Klaus is talking about how Stefan and him used to have a brotherhood when they were BFFs in the 20s.
Yes. Klaus says, what about when Elena chooses between them? Will they still have an unshakable brother's bond?
And yes, they will, and they even made whiskey.
Bonnie has finished her spell. Esther isn't fighting her anymore, but Bonnie is salty, speaking of salt, at Stefan still.
Yeah.
Alark isn't going to complete the transition. So he thinks.
So he says, yeah.
I said this is the big end of season twist that Alark will die. But they done twisted it up on me.
I know, they call
me Pretzel Pete. The way I'm twisting. Jeremy is mad. They hug. The Fray plays. It's probably not the Fray. I never knew. I never knew a lark was gonna die. And then they gave him some Elena blood, which turned him. Okay. Elena says it's her fault. I said it is. It is her fault. Alaric also, he wanted to be a daddy.
Yeah.
The whole crew is posed out in the cemetery like a photo shoot. I like that part.
I like that part too. It was very powerful.
An iconic moment. It looked like they were shooting like a People magazine cover.
Oh yeah, totally. But it was a sweet moment too. Everyone was just like solemnly standing all spread out.
Yeah, I said they were various degrees of sad.
Yeah.
I could have gotten my eyes wet for that, Joan, if I was one of these actors. I feel like they weren't all pushing it.
They could have done more.
Yeah.
But I think they were like also being kind of cool, like we look cool all standing here.
I know, they were trying to look cool, but for what? Alark means a lot. Alark means a lot to these kids.
I feel like the actors were trying to look cool, but the characters should have been more sad.
Yes.
Yeah.
Even Meredith is there. Meredith fell. Rebecca is veiny and gray. Klaus takes out her dagger. He yells at his mom in her coffin,
saying that she will never kill him.
My survival will haunt you through eternity. You will never destroy me, he says, which he could be right. Jamie took Bonnie home, thanks her for protecting him.
And he's not like totally like ruined by this supernatural evening, even though he almost was killed by Klaus.
Yeah. She wishes she was ordinary. And your dad's out of town, maybe Jamie can hang out for a while. I was like, Bonnie has a dad? I guess so. Because her mom's not been in the picture. Do we know Bonnie's dad?
No, because she stayed with Grams for a long time. Also.
Yeah. They're just like, yeah, she has a dad, and then we'll see him in like 3 seasons, and
Yeah, they haven't shown Bonnie's dad.
they'll turn him into a Frankenstein or something. Jeremy's at the grill with Matt.
Yeah, with Matt.
And they're drinking some Brothers Bond.
I know. In the late night hours after closing, they can both get fired.
No. They drink
That's
to...
the season finale. They just get fired from the grill.
Oh, no. The twist.
That's the ending. Spoiler alert.
And they start up the shoppy.
Yeah.
They drink to Mr. Saltzman.
You just said drinked.
They drink to
Oh, got
Mr.
it.
Saltzman. They drinked to Mr.
I
Saltzman.
was like, what? They drink to Mr. Saltzman.
And
Alaric.
And Jeremy has a glycerin tear.
Yeah, seriously.
They said, cut. Blink.
Yeah, it was not believable. I agree.
Elena is getting Alaric's weapons from his classroom. I was like, oh, that's his classroom.
Wasn't it hilarious how many times she kept going back to get more weapons? She was like, it was like Mary Poppins' bag, but of weapons in the closet. I'm like, he really had that many weapons in his school closet?
Yeah,
It was
Mary
so
Poppins.
money. So many.
It was so money and you don't even know it.
Not Mary Poppins, what?
Mr. Saltzman.
Oh, I know.
They've lost another friend, Ash. Stefan takes her to the gym where Klaus turns Stefan's feelings off or whatever I said. Whatever he's talking about. He kept
His humanity.
He kept feelings though.
He did.
Emotions are what makes us human. They have teary laughs.
I know. This is sweet. I like all the Elena and Stefan stuff.
You know, Elena does a thing where, okay, she says, I don't have anyone anymore. She does a thing where she says a thing just for other people to be like, no, no, no.
Yeah, that's definitely true. Because he was talking about something else, and this stood out to me too. And then she randomly just changes the subject, and she's like, I don't have anyone anymore. It's like, well, we weren't talking about that. I was talking about how I changed my humanity for you. I still love you, but okay, sure. Yes, you do. You
Yeah.
have me.
It's like people be like, oh, yeah, I did this, but it's so stupid. And I'm like, oh, no, it's not stupid. It's so great.
Yeah.
She pulled one of those.
She does. Yeah, she did.
Am I guilty of that? Yes.
No.
Yes, I am.
No, you are
I
not.
do that all the time.
You're doing it right now.
No, you don't.
No, you don't. You never do that.
Thanks. You're right. I don't do that. And scene. I probably do it, though. Say no.
Nope, not saying it.
All right. But I probably do. All right. It's like I do. It's like I know. All right. Damon and Meredith are waiting with Alaric. Damon wants to just snap his neck. Hey, you should have probably.
Mm-hmm.
Damon goes in the tomb. Alaric is sleepy. Is this the part when you give me a dream?
Right, like he did for Rose.
Mm-hmm. Sorry I killed you twice. They have some sad jokes about drinking.
Mm-hmm.
Which, then Alaric does take a sip of this whiskey, but I felt like he should have not drank and been like, in my last moments, I'm going to not be a booze hound.
Yeah, but also you're like, well...
Exactly, so he didn't learn anything.
And when they're done, they drank the whole bottle.
Yeah, Alaric was like, I wasn't going to drink tonight. Whatever.
My buddy's here.
Yeah. It's like when you have company in town, he's like, I wasn't going to drink.
Sure.
I'm going to have some Brothers Bond. Bonnie and Jamie, Johnny and Bamie, are spooning. Esther wakes her up.
Mm-hmm.
Your sisters need you to finish what we started. Your 100 sisters.
I know. Isn't it annoying to be like your sister's twins because Bonnie doesn't really have a sister, but it's all the
Dead witches.
dead witch sisters?
But it's just a dream, question mark?
A vision, a dream came to her in a dream.
Damon leaves the tomb. Bonnie is there. Uh-oh.
Mm-hmm.
She's creep walking. She squeezes Damon's brain. I think that's what we used to call it.
Yep.
She walks in, stabs her hand.
I know.
A lot of hand stabbing. Gives it to Alaric to drink. He's drinking witch blood too.
Mm-hmm.
witch blood and Elena blood. Mm-hmm. Right? He already drank her blood?
Yeah, he drank her blood to bind the spell to make him a vampire hunter.
I said, that sucks because he was having a nice death.
Right.
And then he sucks Bonnie's neck, and now he's a vampire with a dagger. And he's dark Alaric, like Esther wanted.
Pepper Saltzman.
Pepper Saltzman. Mr. PepperMan.
PepperMan Hunter. And so she's making him be like the original's dad, who was also...
Yeah, Michelson.
Yeah, he was also the vampire hunter.
/ vampire.
Right.
Yeah, and that guy was grody.
Yeah, he was so annoying. But yeah, now Alaric, he didn't want to be a vampire. He didn't want to be a vampire hunter and kill his friends. His best friend is Damon. And now, because of stupid Bonnie, it's like, we love you, Bonnie. But now Alaric is exactly what he didn't want to be. No.
The irony.
And you thought Alaric was only going to be there for season 1, a couple episodes.
That's what I said. Man.
You've gotten a lot of Pete-dictions right, but that one was very wrong.
I know. I also said that mean other teacher, football coach, was going to be...
a main character.
A main character. And I wish he was still there.
Coach so-and-so that I still can't even remember his name.
Yeah. Leave it in the comments. Ash, how many fangs would you give this episode?
I'm going to give it 2 fangs. Thought it was very, very good. Elena and Stefan went to the dance.
Oh.
There was a theme. People dressed up.
Flapper and the Dapper.
Flapper and the Dapper. It was more about the original cast, not the originals.
Okay.
Even though they were in the mix, but still it wasn't like every scene was just originals, you know?
Yeah, no Cole, no Finn.
Right.
No Flibby Flabby. I mean Elijah.
No Trevor and Mark and
Yeah.
John and actually there's a
Steve.
yeah.
Steve the original.
I liked it. I like that Jeremy's back. Mm-hmm. He's really swole now.
Mm-hmm.
I used to really not like Jeremy's character when I first watched the show. Thought he was so like whiny and annoying, but I like him now.
He is kind of at first.
Mm-hmm. All right, how about you? How many fangs?
If they had given Alaric his due, it would be a 2-fanger.
Oh, are you sad that he's the vamp now?
Yeah, I mean, look, we got 2 episodes left in the season. Like, they got to go big.
Mm-hmm.
Which I respect that.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm giving it
2 fangs also.
0.5 fangs.
No, you're not.
Just kidding. But I wish that he had gone gentle or whatever the title is.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, I'll do a 1.333 with a line over it.
333 repeating?
Yeah.
Okay. What are your Pete-dictions? We got 2 eps left in the season.
All right. I do not see a long future for Alaric, which I've said this before. Obviously, that's what we keep saying. However, I don't know. Is he just gonna be a vampire, a uncle vampire forever? I don't know. I think he's gonna have to sacrifice. I think end of season 3 sacrifice, because you kind of got to do something with the main cast at the end of these seasons. Mm-hmm. Who shot Mr. Burns, Ash?
Mm-hmm.
The Simpsons.
Yeah.
You gotta do something big at the end of the season. I feel like they do cliffhangers, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. They always wrap some stuff up, but then leave you being like, "Wait, what?" Also,
these originals gotta be done. This was the season and chapters of originals. We gotta get out. Look,
there's
I know
so
that
much originals
I know
in
they
this
have
season.
their own show, and maybe that's a prequel or I don't know.
Yeah, I like that you don't know anything about it. Good job for like really not
figuring
it out.
I'm assuming that it's some of the same cast, though, I would guess. And then Legacies, I don't know who those guys are either. I don't want to know.
Good, yeah.
But these originals, hey.
You shouldn't know the answer to either of those questions at this time.
These originals have their own show. Go spin off over there.
Leave us alone.
F off and spin off.
On the Vampire Diaries.
But yeah, there's gonna be there's gonna be drama that leads us into next season. Season 4, not even halfway done with the show.
Right.
But Alaric, R.I.P. Meredith Fell. I don't see a lot of her in the future, or maybe she's the new auntie. I don't know, Ash. They always throw so many balls in the air.
Mm-hmm. What do you want to happen? If you were writing it, the last 2 episodes, what would you want?
Oh my gosh, I'd be like, you brought me in to write these ones. I would do another car wash.
Okay.
And another Damon party. I'd be like, car wash and Damon party, same episode? No.
Okay, now we know why you like this show.
No, I would boost it up in that realm. I don't know. Is Stefan and Elena gonna have some kind of motion in their relationship? Damon might be mad. I feel like you can always go back to that well.
Definitely. Yeah. Okay.
I don't know. Matt and Jamie are gonna be like, we're normal guys. They're gonna go on a normal guys' night to the grill.
Of course, only.
Matt's gonna be like, oh, you know I work here, and Jamie's gonna be like, yeah.
Because you're a normal guy.
Yeah, I know that. I saw you working here earlier. I met you here. You took off your one shirt and put on a different shirt. They both said the grill. And one said choppy. I don't know, Ash.
Okay, well, we'll hear more from you next time.
Yes. I've got no games. I'm playing no games tonight.
That's fine. I'm ready to play the sleeping game.
Yes. Ash, I would say that people... Look, we're going to finish out the season. 2 more eps in this season.
I know.
We'll probably have a little hiatus. A little two-fang-atus.
But we will be back for season 4. You already have the theme song.
Oh my gosh. That might have to be a tease. That might have to be... We do 2 more eps and then like... I drop the track or something like that. Like Beyonce.
Uh-oh.
But we are coming back for season 4. We're going to do these 2 episodes. Just go to @HighDive Publishing on Instagram to keep up to date.
Let's
That's
do it.
it.